Well, hey folks, here's another one of these counter trend trading opportunities I'm looking at. Uh, Fortunately, my spread on OANDA is not 7 pips like this; it's 2.7, so makes them possible to trade. So we've got plenty of pips here, 40 pips and 220 pips on my current and H1 SMA 60s, and so we've got a little bit of distance to get to this point. And we're above so I took the trade basically on a break of this M5 SMA 60. It could retrace back to here, so my stop always goes below the previous M5 candle or 10 pips, and this here is also quite good because it's right on the 142 big round number. So good kind of opportunity. Note it's counter trend definitely, because we've got all the main arrows in the opposite direction to where we are trading. THV rules all made for the direction we're trading. So M15 just turning slightly. We've got M5 just crossed over. M1's kind of on an upslope. So everything's in our favour. This is the M15 view here, so it's just above this moving average. So we're not counter trend to this, but we're counter trend to this. So this is where we can get some trades in while we're waiting for maybe another big pullback into here, and then another downtrend away. So let's just check out how that trade is progressing. Well, you know, I took 15 pips on that last one. We're up to 11 pips now on this one, and things are looking good. I quite often like moving my stops up behind the M5 candles as they progress up. So previous M5 candle each time. My view on that is that if price is really going to be moving up, then behind the M5 candle will always get us kind of the majority of the trade. We'd be stopped out after this one, obviously, but in this case we would have made some reasonable pips. We look at this one here. If we had got into a trade on here and moved our stop up behind the M5 candle each time, just another way of managing the trade, we would have got it all the way up to about here. So that would have given you 50 pips down to here. I mean, I don't know where you would have got in, but that's a 70 pip distance there, so you know, without risking too much. So my stop at the moment is, what are we talking about? Well, I'm right on the 142, got in it, so it's a 5 pip stop right now. So hey, if I get stopped out, it's not too much of a problem. And I'm looking for a breaker here. Maybe when this candle finishes, I'll move my stop up, get me into profit. If it doesn't break through here, then it's a trade I make just a few pips on. So there you go. That's how we can do this. The other thing that's in our favour here is that if we go back to my main screen, we're seeing kind of like the candle formation here is a nice formation. We've got a reversal candle here against the main trend, and we're entering just breaking that above that moving average. So nice place to enter. So it's good all round. If it breaks this the H1 high here, then that would be good for us as well. We can quite often expect a pullback back towards our moving average. So knowing where that is worthwhile. So if I go down to my M5 time frame, because that's kind of where I'm trading off at the moment, maybe I could put a trend line here and have my stop getting moved up behind that on the way up, or move my stop behind each candle. It's up to you how you manage your trade. There's lots of different ways. For a start, I would be each candle, and then later on I'd turn that into a trend line, and just like when we're breaking short, I'd be putting my stop underneath the trend line on the way up on this counter trend trade. And potentially what I would do on that would be the stop might not be just a stop, but it might be a stop in reverse order. So basically I'm getting the best out of the counter trend trade going upwards, and then as soon as this counter trend trade is finished, it'll break through my line. I'll draw that there for you. It'll break through my my M5 trend line there, and and I could have a stop and reverse order just sitting here ready to capture that. So making pips on the way up and making pips on the way down with the trend if we got another good move with the trend. So that's another good way of trading. The reason I'm kind of thinking about this counter trend trade here as well is because stochastics on the H1 are kind of showing a slight upward bias here. M15 showing an upward bias as well. I've got the distance. If I go to the M15, 41 pips there. Hey, it's a good opportunity. So getting back to the trade, a quick look here. Well, so at this, the next candle is finished, so I'm going to move that up there, and you know, I'll probably get stopped out, but I'm not really too worried. I'm just trying to catch the main moves, and I don't want to turn this into a loss, so happy to get that stopped out, and I think it just made 5 pips, so you know, hey, it's okay. The other way you could have done it was put your trend line on here like that, and you might have had your stop loss just going up this trend line. So I'm just kind of doing this as an exercise for you. For me, I might get another entry when it comes down and bounces back off my SMA here on the M5. So I usually like to see, you know, we get bounces off this all the time. So when it comes down to here, I could enter another trade if I see the candles turning again. So that's a nice way of just doing a few quick counter trend trades, make you a few pips in the bank. It's they're always good, and also potentially helps you if the overall trend is going to flip the other way. So during that little counter trend trade, we triggered the M30 fractal, and it's probably not going to be much further before we've triggered the H1 fractal to turn everything on its head. So counter trend trades won't be so much counter trend once that happens. So seeing the bounce there, might get back in a little bit again. So you can see here, like on the M1, came back, it's retesting here. We could enter again off this. Look, there's just so much going on. Pips to be made everywhere on the charts. Just keeping your head about you, keeping your stop loss small, and just following some very, very simple rules. Obviously wanting to catch the main moves that are with the trend, but knowing that counter trend trades can give us just a few pips here and there. So we made 15 pips on that last move just here on this one, and we just made another 5 pips just here. So look, that's 20 pips already just with a little bit of price action movement here. Okay, I hope that's been helpful demonstrating counter trend trades. And I need to get back to the main stop this. We'll catch you later.